Good afternoon, Boston. This afternoon, it's another hour with the Emancipator. And once you get in the emancipated zone, you know how it does get hot in here. This afternoon, you see my subtitle tell you, get serious, stop playing. Too much of games have been going on within our community. Games from the politician come right back down. Everything is a game in the black community. And those non-blacks that are in poverty level, like the blacks that live within this community. This afternoon, we're gonna talk about the things that affects us, the things that have us outraged, the things that choking some of us in the community. Some of us are afraid to come out and speak. Because why? This kind of new world order government system that is running through Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan and hurting good, God-fearing people who intend to make an honest living. There's a lot of embarrassment out there. Up to today, you see the police officer in Worcester, and these police, they always in all kind of skullduggery. They always embarrassing the badges. And no one wouldn't throw the book at them, send them to jail for 9,000 years because they are out of whack and just sit down there with a mouthful of lie, dishonest. They could never fare well because why their whole life is a fad. Today I really want the people to get serious and stop playing. We have no representation in here. You take away our representation, people who we vote in power, you just come and take them away by just an allegation. Didn't give them the due process in the court. You just judge and jury. Time for that to stop because people wake up. Get serious and stop playing. This is a new world order movement. While you sleep and being entertained by sports and all your blue movies and all these nonsense you want to look at on TV, Bart Simpson and all this dotishness. It gets you more stupid, and today or tomorrow you might wake up in line going to the gas chamber like what Hitler do in some time gone by. This new world order government, it's not playing. They have no respect for the Constitution. They have no respect for the government. Obama he inherited one of the worst economical package anybody could inherit in life. If God come back to earth right now and see that he destroyed the whole earth and we build it all over again. Today I have here for my guest two young people here, outstanding male and female. I would like them to introduce themselves to you and then I'll come back to you because the emancipated hour is about to get hot. Get serious, stop playing. Introduce yourself to Bostons.
My name is Rodwin Innes. I live in Dorchester, approximately 2 years now.
My name is Yasana Hartfield. Hello, everyone. I'm the host of People to Watch. I'm a producer.
Those of you who are familiar with People to Watch, you know Miss Hartfield. And you know this young man from Trinidad and Tobago, right?
Yep.
2 years in the United States. How you like it in the United States, son?
So far, it's okay.
It's
I
okay?
can't say it's the best way everybody's be talking about that the United States is this big thing. But so far, it's okay.
It's okay. Okay, right now you're employed.
Yep.
You're still going through your education process.
Well, I finished school and I just, figure out what my next step.
All right. So now, if you have a word to give to some of the young people out there in Boston, what do you think you should tell them? As a foreigner who is residing on the soil here now.
As I said, get serious. Pick up their book.
All right.
Come off of the streets.
All right.
That is one. And start listening to their elders. Because if you don't listen to your parents, you have no foundation.
Okay.
Your parents teach you how to behave in the house, and then you step out in the house, you know how to behave.
All right.
So that's all for now.
Ms. Hartfield.
Well, what I would like to say to the people, especially the adults, is that we have to lead by example to our peers, to one another, the children, everyone, to the world. We have to lead by example, because I was reading the Final Call paper, and it was saying how the Obama administration was comparing income levels of how even black and Hispanic people who have bachelor degrees, average income is like $44,000. And, you know, they were seeing how the disparity is, and it's been going on forever, you know. And it was like, to every white male that is making $1, like blacks and Hispanics is making 87 cents with degrees. So even though we say, you know, do these things, you know, take the right steps and actions and behave, that we have to tell people who is in position of authority who can say, yes, I will hire you, pay you the same equivalent pay and salary as your counterpart that's doing the same job. After you have to, you know, go to school, you know, follow the system and be a model citizen. You should be earning the wages that can take care of your family and buy you the American, you know, buy you that home, and you can be a part of the American dream and save your pennies too after working for someone else. So even though I say that, you know, I'm not saying what the advice that you gave was wrong, was excellent. But I'm just speaking to the people who's in positions of authority. They have to play their part too when we recommend these steps and actions to our youth. We have to lead by example once again.
You know, a lot of people think that they put the onus in the house home with the parents. Yes, it's good to put the onus home in the house and the parent. A parent could only try so much, especially in this 2000 era. It's not like in the 19th and 20th century, the 21st century now, where it's a different thing all entirely.
Yeah.
Lascivious behavior is what controls the norm of the day. Because in the churches out there is corrupt, number one.
Yes.
The churches, number one, they could make the big difference within the community. All they got to do in the churches, the board of directors have to control the church and not the minister.
Well, and I think too, let me just add to
Go
say
ahead.
that, excuse me, that.
Because this is an open forum, get serious, stop
Okay,
playing.
I think in regards to that too, in the churches being more involved and getting serious in their congregation lives, that if the church community was strong, okay, the ministers, the board of directors, because, you know, the church get unaccounted tax dollars.
Okay.
You should have money to give back to the poor and the widowers who you're supposed to help, and that's the reason you found your church. You know
Cast your bread upon the waters, and come back to you.
But it never goes back to the,
It never goes back.
the members of the congregation.
Okay.
You have a lot of people that, you know, we shouldn't have to rely so much on the government system with
Thank
so many
you.
churches in the community, because you're getting unaccounted dollars that people faithfully tithe.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so everyone's house should be in order within
you.
that congregation, because, you know, the churches, we're supposed to set ourselves aside from the world. You know, that's the difference between the church and the common man who's breaking the law. We're supposed to uphold the law within the religion that we represent. So if we did more of that, we won't see a lot of poverty. Everyone would be eating.
Yep.
More things would be more righteous done. You know what I'm saying? So change for everyone on this earth while you're living is within. Is with one individual at a time. That's what makes a difference. You know, and when you see like that corruption going around, separate yourself from it. You know what I'm saying? Don't just say, oh, it's not my business, because it is your business when you're robbing the poor and the women. And even the government institutions. You know, the government was designed to help the people, represent the people, to say to the people, we are in the best interest of you. We represent you. This is why you put us in office. And they need to be held accountable, the ones that we do put in office, because, you know what, they took an oath. Now, if it was a job that everyone could do and anyone could do,
You better do it
I'll be
ourselves.
the governor. And it'd be like going to Funky Town. You understand?
Yeah.
Here, but, you know, we put these people in. They're used to, you know, they so much is like expecting us to do this. and not have any questions. But like you said, it's a new era, a new time. And there are so many lost ones, but there are also so many smart ones.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, because the things, why I hold in the church responsible, the church is the judge, that they were the judge and jury that get one of our state rep out of her position by going and giving her the wrong advice, number one. They didn't went there with healing on their wings.
That's right.
They forget that Jesus said, he that is without sin cast the first stone. They throw so many stones till they move they move a representative who was voted there by the people, for the people. Now, what the church replace her with? Nothing. They just sit down here now and looking at all the corruption from downtown. You know, because you can't get through the city organization and you cannot get through the state organization.
Well, the church shouldn't have been getting in government affairs.
First the beginning, yes, exactly.
Right, they should have been separated from the beginning.
Thank you.
And if they was going to stand with the people, they should have stand with the person that was elected and gave her a chance to prove herself. Right, but they didn't. And see, when you talk to people that's not from Massachusetts, you know what they say about the people here of color? That they're scared. They don't care. You know, we're unfriendly. We don't want to see each other come up. You know? And it's one thing when you on a street level and you have that mentality. But it's another when you're in a power of position. A position of power, and you have that mentality. We have to lead by example once again. And we can't have faith in a church system or a church system who still is living by a worldly system instead of a spiritual system.
Exactly.
You understand? Because, you know, that's why none of us could be Jesus Christ on earth. Because we're so quick to hang our brother and sister, you know? So throw them, and then when the woman is cleared of the charges, I knew she was innocent, you know, and
they're quick to judge.
Yes, we didn't give her a fair chance. You know, believe in yourself, and I believe in Senator Diane Wilkerson, regardless to whatever her past problems are. Okay, she still earned what she has, and can't no one take that from her. And she's not a disgrace in this community. We love you, sister, because you was representing us. And hey, maybe she didn't represent me as an individual, but there are people that she did represent and that she did work for, and those are the ones that should really be standing behind her and advocating for her instead of shutting up, because we got to unite in solidarity to say this ain't right, because when it's their people, they stand together. They're united as one, and there's nothing wrong with that. You understand? But we have to be the same way. We have to lead by example. You understand?
As the Emancipator and you young folks are here, I want to give this to you. Having a black president in the United States today, Massachusetts have a black governor. Having a black mayor with a black governor, it will change half of the rhetoric that goes on in this here community.
Well,
that's now. They know exactly what they was doing. Now, I could give you an envelope if I asked you to do me a favor and you do it, and I could give you this envelope, not, let's say on a day for the business favor we talk about. I could just see you and give that to you. Camera could flash from anywhere. But that picture, they can take that and use that for their own self-interest.
Yeah, to frame you.
You see, that now picture taking is something that people should be much aware of, because if you taking my picture and I didn't ask you to take my picture, I need that film.
But if you're under investigation, it doesn't really matter. But the whole thing, it goes back to the system and the government again. We're going to bring it back to the Rodney King case, where the police officers in L.A. beat the crap out of him and it was caught on film. But they was acquitted. So why does it matter in this area, in this case, but in that case, they're walking free?
Well,
and they did physical body harm to a
Right.
man
To
that if it was not on camera, caught on camera, they could have killed him and threw him off on the woods. Some real talk. But it was just caught on camera, 5 men against one who didn't commit a serious crime. So you're right. Pictures, what is the value of pictures?
Yeah.
Where are they credible when this group of people can be acquitted and they're supposed to be the laws, preventing the law, and this woman right here, that stuff goes on all the time in politics. People always buy their way into the system. Money talks.
Yep.
We know what's up.
But you know the next thing I see, they had the 25th anniversary for the black women in Massachusetts, in Boston, Massachusetts. Was Diane Wilkinson there?
No.
They didn't even, I don't think she got an invitation. Because why? This is the things we got to look at. Our black folks here who decide to take this crown and stand with it. A chain is as strong as its weakest link. Diane Wilkinson is a very highly educated woman.
I agree.
And the way this Massachusetts system tried to make her look like nothing to the people, and some of those cronies they have running around there who represent, say they is represented for the state, they're just representative just by name. They have no power, they're voiceless, because the community must know on Wednesday you could go down to City Hall and sit down in the meeting and you will hear the kind of nonsense be running around down there. People like Maureen Feeney, who've been running and pushing off her mouth. All those folks down there, they are dishonest peddlers. Sal de Macy,
Yeah.
they subpoenaed him. He refused to bring everything that they asked for. He walked out on the big corruption and he walked out as a big man. Every one of those people down there who represent us in downtown, they all are corrupt. Diane Wilkinson the reason why they treat her like this, because all of them gained from Diane Wilkinson because she used to run this here state. She legislate laws and they had to go because half of them cannot fulfill half of the iota that she have within her brain because they ain't got the capacity to even stand up to talk with this woman. But they have to do it like that because it would have either be her or Chuck Turner would have been challenging this mayor position here. And having a black mayor, a governor is one thing. The mayor is the man. That's why he's so greedy with power. He wanted to get another, how much terms now? They should just say, listen, you see you? Right now you is done. You finished. You can't take the city no further away than where it is right now. All you're doing is making all these new set of policemen in the city here, and the more new police you bring is the more crime.
Exactly.
The only place they sit down and watch is Dunkin' Donut. You hear the advertisement? We run on Dunkin'. Get serious, people.
Get serious.
We're not playing. Get serious because why? We have no representation right now in our community.
Okay, well, you know, the good thing about this new election, the mayor race that's going on, is that he has many opponents. He has Sam Yoon running against him. I heard Ezidi is running against him. He has Flaherty.
Ezidi come out?
Yeah, I heard that. Ezidi.
I don't think so because they bought Ezidi when Ezidi was running back in the 90s. They bought him and give him some position to run some job. They give him a big position there.
But still, that don't change what you know. It's like
me? You know, our brothers and sisters, if they give you a bigger bread than it's bigger than a biscuit, what you would do? Stay with the biscuit or take the bread?
Of course, take the bread.
Take the bread, baby.
bread.
That's
Take
Exactly.
the bread.
They know
But even though taking the
know.
bread, you have to get something out of taking
I
the bread that
understand.
you
Yeah.
can bring back to your people.
I understand.
But hey,
But sometimes
They're
it
scared
doesn't
of
even
that guy
take, yeah.
because Ezidi, if he had run that year, he would have beat the mayor. Now, I want to open up because I know, get serious, stop playing. Somebody want to call me. The phone number is 617-708-3280. Call in. The Emancipator is here waiting. You're trying to Hatfield from people to watch. And you have the young brother from Trinidad and Tobago, fresh in the soil, but he can still make a He can give some ventilation.
Yes, let's talk about something else that's affecting the community, because this is a community-based show, correct? So let me tell you what's affecting the
Let me hear you.
community. The swine flu. I'm laughing about the swine flu, but it's been spread across many states.
Yeah.
Almost, how many states is it? 47?
Yeah, 47. I was like,
I'm like, oh my goodness, and they said 77 cases, and I'm not saying to panic, I'm just saying be aware, because you know how we're the last one to be informed.
yep.
So, just be aware, use the safety tips, the antibacterial.
Certain
If
hand
you ain't got a
sanitizers.
face mask, those antennas you be wearing.
I think we have a call. Caller?
Yes, hold on, I'm sorry, I had to turn my TV down.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay, summer hasn't even really begun, and there's been like 3 deaths this week, with the youth and the violence, and I know we talk about this every year, but when is it really when is something really gonna be done about it?
Well, the good thing that they are doing that, I'm sorry, I'm going to answer this question. But the good thing that, I do agree with what's going on in the community is cameras. You understand what I'm saying? They have a lot of cameras everywhere, so a lot of crimes are being caught on tape. That's a wonderful thing. More murders should be being solved, because you're right, it has been a lot of
Unsolved.
unsolved murders
crimes.
and murders going on recently in the hood. However, it's still up to the people to come forth.
they're scared.
And say, yo, I seen this. Until you got that, all they're gonna do really is have the cameras and anonymous tips. And that's how we're going to really clean up the community, because at the end of the day, I don't agree with violence, and I don't want it to have to be my loved one before I get involved or be concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So in fairness to the police department in the city of Boston, thank you for the cameras in the hood.
But is it really solving anything?
It's not solving anything.
Right now, it's
Go on.
not.
No, it's not solving anything, because, hey, they're not putting a gun in an individual's hand to go out here and say, shoot another person. That's what has to stop. That individual change starts with one person. They have to say, hey, either they value life or they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And can I say one more thing?
Yes.
All right, I heard you, the young lady, make a comment about how people who live outside of Massachusetts view the minorities in Boston as negative, unfriendly. I see it myself, and I live in Boston. The youth, I don't know, there's no unity at all. And there used to be a time in Boston, like in the 90s, when things were live. There was like life in the air, but now everything is just dry and dead, and nobody's talking, and there's violence.
And you know what? Well, there's a few people that's getting it popping in Boston, and one would be MC Spice from the Man Up movement. He's doing some things trying to rally the people and get people together in unity. And, when he was on 106.1 FM Touch Radio, he was like giving block parties, uniting the communities. I did attend some of those. So in fairness to some people, just keep your ears open to the street, because you're not going to hear about it through other ways of media other than the show, or just picking up flyers that's posted in the hood. But a lot of people was trying to rally to get people together, where they're having block parties and inviting people to come down and hang out.
The media, like the Metro, they'll quickly put the violence, like, oh, a boy got shot, before they put, something like what you're talking about in the newspaper.
Yeah, but it's happening, sister. Just keep your ears to the street. That's why, one reach one. You know that saying. Are you going
to give your information, like, before the show's over?
Sure. I will leave your number, leave your number, and I will contact you back. In fact, leave your email, okay?
All right, I'll do that.
All right, you too.
Okay.
All of y'all have a good night.
Yes,
Yes,
and happy
you.
Mother's
Yes.
Day if you're a mother, your mom's, whatever.
Now, that caller talk about the camera that they put on the street.
Yep.
Now, I would have to make a little correction here. Those cameras, they do work.
I talked about it.
And if they did not work, that guy with the Craigslist downtown Boston is because of those cameras.
That's right.
Yeah. We have another caller. Caller?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay.
I want to talk about, I know the lady that you're talking one of your guests today. She's hosts People to Watch.
That's right.
I called in a few weeks ago about when she was talking about Diane Wilkerson, and I had suggested that there were more than just the two front runners that were running after the primaries. Before the primaries were over, there were actually 6 candidates, including one independent, which was Ralph Nader, and Cynthia McKinney on the Green Party, and also Bob Barr, and also there was another one too. But that's not why I'm calling today. I wanted to say that Barack Obama and a lot of the senators, one senator in particularly, congressman in particularly, Congressman, I forgot his exact name, but he says that single-payer health care is not on the table, and it's been in the news, not covered excessively, but it is in the news that there was a protest by this this group representing single-payer action. They interrupted the people who were the lobbyists and the people on Congress who were supposed to be representing the people. They are in cahoots with this health insurance industry, which has its hands by representing lobbyists on Congress. Lobbyists have a hold on Congress. So single payer, because of that, these people won't let single payer get on the table. Anybody who is for single payer or going to make an argument for single payer is not allowed to speak up. And people representing this single payer action, singlepayeraction.org on the internet, were interrupting this meeting, and they had several representatives in the crowd, and they all stood up like one by one. Each person took their turn to stand up, and they got arrested, each one. The second they were able to stand up and speak.
Caller. Now,
yes.
I want to show you this. The same problem that Obama is having is the same problem Duval Patrick have down here. He vetoed some bill that went behind his back. You see, the disrespect for the position. Like today I was talking to a gentleman, and I have to let him know, Obama should not be called a president because this is the highest level of education you can see a man sitting in that chair. George Bush don't have half the education that Obama has. McCain could not have made it because he was dumb, he couldn't do economics. You see, all these folks could have do is to just come back with past people history in their life. That's their politics, because their politics is politrick. They don't have the education, but because they got the money, money is power, and they just want to lead by the currency reign. Look at what's happening. Everywhere they go, the military go, they come back, you find them bringing back drugs, they call them bringing guns, they call them bringing all kind of things they are doing. What happening today? You see, with this epidemic that they're trying to make a worldwide epidemic with this
swine flu.
Swine flu. If you can remember, I think it was in 1918 when they had the Black Death plague.
Yeah.
If this continues, where you have the Blackwater who run through Iraq where Bush finances his on the hand military, then you have some of the military chaplain who run in their own inside organization of Nazi forces within the American military force. FEMA have to fall in line with these people, because remember, after the World Trade Center, that scam that they set up with the World Trade Center, FEMA could not have go on ground zero to do any kind of investigation. For FEMA to have any power now, FEMA have to side with these leftists. Right now, if this becomes what they want it to be, they can call for a state of emergency, and with that state of emergency, that is where you can see the Hitler and the Stalin and the Mussolini behavior could start to play it out.
Well, you know something? Can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
This is some good news. You don't have to be a member of the Nation of Islam,
Okay.
but Tomorrow at the mosque, they're having a meeting for natural disasters. The mosque in Grove Hall, number 11. You should go down there and hear how to prepare, how to plan in case our community have a natural disaster. Because to be quite honest, the swine flu is a natural disaster.
It's here.
Because you know what? We have triple deckers. We have big communities of families. You understand what I'm saying? We have people that do travel outside of the U.S. that come here and maybe they feel it's not my business to tell you. So, you know, we have to be aware, and that is a natural disaster, and we have to know how to take care of ourselves and stop leaving our lives into the political hands of, you know, the hands of the political people, because
people with power.
If they're not in the best interest of us, then we have to be in the best interest of ourselves.
Come on, young man. A long time. We talking.
Can I add something?
Sure.
You want to add? Go ahead.
I want to say that, add to this fact that about FEMA, everybody should know that FEMA is part of the government.
Federal.
They might not have been before Katrina happened, but after and while it was happening, a lot of things behind the scenes, one of many things behind the scenes that we do not know about, made FEMA completely part of the government. And also, for the swine flu, there was an instance in American history in like the 1940s or the 1930s where the swine flu was outbroken. It was an outbreak. And the government did a vaccine, and a whole lot of people died from that vaccine.
You know.
Not even from the swine flu. I say that now to say that I've already started the process of trying to convince people through the media to take vaccines when they are available. And I'm just saying that everybody should decide what they do, what they're going to do with their families with extreme caution.
Yes, I
where
agree.
vaccines are concerned.
Caller, I think this is a time when, like my subtitle tell you, get serious and stop playing. I think this is a time when everybody should get up from their humpy dumpy and come out there and face the politician, face those people who we have in position, because why? We put them there. They got to work and do what we ask them to do. We don't have to succumb to them and all the nonsense that they do. It's either you do what we ask you or you get out of there. That's what we need to do now.
I think that you are right. I think the best way to deal with things politically within ourselves is to do it locally. We need to make sure, like the young lady was saying, we need to stand up for Diane Wilkerson when it's time to stand up for her.
That's
and
right.
also Chuck Turner.
That's right.
And we have a governor's race that's coming up, and Mayor Menino is
Done.
speaking out against debates. You know what I'm saying? He's saying that the people don't really want to see the politicians and the candidates debate. And there's supposed to be like 3 official debates that are coming up. I forget exactly when they are, but Mayor Menino, you know what I'm saying, he doesn't really want to show up for these debates.
He's the money man. He's the money man. He playing on money. He playing on dollars. But it's time for him to take that dollars and take a vacation. He's finished.
Well,
Let me finish my thoughts, sir. But we just need to speak out and let these people know that we do want to see the candidates debate. You know what I'm saying? If we have white friends in the community, you know what I'm saying, because they don't listen to us, we need to make sure that they're speaking out. You know what I'm saying?
Is that a feeling on me?
We need to unite with each other in the community and deal with politics on a local level and make sure that we have our representatives that do care, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, but you know,
make sure that they have our ear. Make sure that they they have our
they're in our best
attention.
interest. I know what you're saying. That they have us, they got us. Like Biggie would say, "I got you." We want to know, politicians. What our politicians got us. They have us. They represent us. It ain't no shady dealings going on.
Let me shake him out. Okay, brother. Thank you for the call. But if you belong to any church congregation, speak out in your church congregation. The church right now have to use the power that it have right now, because the church could help make this change. The church could help make this change if the church get up and get some power. They mightn't have the Holy Ghost power, but use the manpower that they have. Because right now the church could come out and speak, because they are depending now, the White House, everybody is depending on the church right now, looking for prayers. Who never pray looking for prayers today? They're depending on the church. This is the time the church could come out and make a very good impact. Because why? The church see what's going on, sitting down there too long, and change the whole thing around, get the head of the board of the directors, get a head who going to lead and direct things in fairness.
Well, the church should mind the church business.
No, the church, we need the church.
No, we do need the church, but the government and the church is two different states by the law of the land. So the church should not interfere in government business. Sure.
The church, I want to add that there's a lot of people who, like the young lady is saying, to just uphold what the young lady is saying, church and state is separate. I am not a religious person, and there's a lot of other people who just, where they come from, they're not religious, so we need to unite on the basis of politics and what is good for everybody involved.
That's right there. That's the key. That's very important. You hit it right on the nail. Boom. What is good for everyone involved? Righteousness and truth, and that's what's going to lead us up. But we have to be willing to do it. And if we're not willing to do it, it's not going to mean nothing, and no conversation or any information's going to be able to help anyone.
Thank you, caller.
Like the young man said earlier.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much for your call.
Thank you, caller. We love you. Thank you for your support.
God bless you, sir. Now, coming back here. Right now, beside Get Serious to Playing, our community is in focus for such a very long time. And like you said, imagine people from the outside telling you that, hey, you guys up in Massachusetts, you're soft. You ain't got no this, you don't got the... And because why? The divide and conquer strategy that is being used here, then it starts from educating the kids from in school so they can really catch the kind of disparity that is going on within the community. These kids, when as they reach at the school door, they just get a blocker and they get back out in the streets. We need to have our kids, when they leave to go to school, they must go to school. There is a reason why kids are not going to school. The first thing, the teacher lies a lot on the children. And people just look and say, oh, that kid is up to nothing. No kid is up to nothing.
Amen. I agree with that.
I speak with a lot of young men out there. What we're going to do now with this thing that start here now, what are we going to do with young men and young women who have quarry between now and 2040? What do you think will happen?
Well, let me tell you.
You will kill that generation now because
they don't have to do that.
It's starting now.
Yes.
Because you know what's happening? For young men and women who have quarries and their mother who receive public assistance or public housing, because they are convicted of a crime,
them parents lost their house.
They have to be put in the streets.
Yep.
Where are they going to go? And no one's going to hire them.
They have nowhere to go.
And if their family say, hey, even though my child did this, I still want my child to come and stay with me because I love them and it's the right thing to do, and I have a home, I'm in jeopardy of being put in the streets because I want to love and help my child who made a mistake, a poor choice. We made them before we got to where we're at. Some of us got caught, some of us didn't, but even the ones who, okay, they may have a second chance in life, they're not given the opportunity. They have to fend for themselves. They have to stay in the streets. They have to break laws. They just have to do these things. And it's not fair to the parent or the child, you know, or the system, because we have to come up with a better system to help people, to loosen those conditions, because we're putting them back in a jeopardizing situation at the end of the day.
Now, here's what
In the beginning, too, as my friend Kay would say.
Here's where I was coming back, why I keep knocking on the church. The time that we are in right now, if you read into the book of Acts, this was the same kind of time when Peter was trying to bring the church together to pool their resources so then they can be a generation away from all the things that is not pertaining to righteousness. And hereby you find Ananias and Sapphira came in and they disposed of the devilish behavior because they were still caught up in the mix out there. The church today, with all this money that the church have, all these properties that been nailed up, the church have a right to come now and take claims and buy up all these properties, set a rental level whereby people could, you know what I'm saying?
But shoot, help the people in your congregation,
people on the
church.
streets,
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
in your congregation, because if your church take on that responsibility, it's a lot of people in situations regarding homes or who may be homeless, who may, you know, go to your people within your congregation. That's what the church systems are supposed to be. A system within a system, a reliable system, a system that says, hey, you don't have to deal with this unfair men or this person who want to practice unfair business practices.
But
Come
you know
to
what?
us. Who
Some
is
people
right.
have a mentality that they can't rely on the church, and people need to get that out of their mind. They need to start relying on the church and go towards the church or the pastor of the home and say, well, pastor, I need so-and-so being done. They can't have this mentality that, oh, well, if I tell the pastor so-and-so is the case, he will go and tell to the whole congregation, and that will self-confidence, that will lower your confidence, so that will put you on the streets, you know. You think nobody care about you. That's the next reason too.
Yeah, that
pastor's supposed to
gossiping
keep a
crap.
secret.
Yeah, that exactly.
Talking too much, talking about the wrong things instead of the right things.
Sermon going on and you talking about somebody's business.
Instead of praying for your what is it, your member.
You know why they do that?
No, why do they do it, Mr. Edwards, Mr. Emancipator?
Now,
Let's get serious.
what we're looking at out there, it look like church. It's not church.
Wow.
Like I saw this guy for Good Friday with this big piece of wood walking through the street. I said, what are you doing that for, man? What do you accomplish? He looking at me. Did you save a soul?
No, he didn't.
I said, that's foolishness. Did God tell you to do that?
Well, this
I said, no, you just look like one of those who crucify. They have a next thing to tell you, but turn the next cheek and all these things. God never tell you about turning no next cheek and all this dumb nonsense that you hear you up and the people write in this book called the Bible and try to force on us, because they came to us with that. And when we accept that, what happened? They rape our ancestors, they take all the wealth and the riches and they gone, they
And
put
our
us in
land.
slavery, and today we still trying to come out. They still want to sing the song, we shall overcome. I don't know what it is. You have to get out right away.
Let me tell you what's
church
happening
is
because
weak.
of that act. Let me tell you what's happening because
There's
of that
no
behavior.
unity in the church,
No,
that's what.
Let me tell you what's happening because of that. Real talk. Because of that, everything is suffering. This is why this worldly system is collapsing, because of that mentality and behavior, and because of you have 400 years to change this wrong and make it right. You understand what I'm saying? You choose not to, even to the end. This is your end right now. Believe me when I tell you, this is your end. You know, you have big conglomerate stores that...
When you say you're talking about the...
I'm not talking about
Be careful now, you're on
No, I'm
television.
talking, let me tell you, the
Don't
end
prophesy like
of
Benny
the
Hill.
world system.
Yeah, don't
the
prophesy.
end of the world system,
I hear
because you
you.
see how it's
I
collapsing
hear you.
financially, housing. You know, first it was the gas. I knew it was something that God... It was intervention from God, because anything about God is like the sky. It affects everyone worldwide.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? So the beginning of the fall was when we seen gas prices hit the rooftop.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? In America. You understand? America is a strong country. But when America falls, and America is falling,
Why?
you know, because they would not hire people who rightfully deserve jobs. They stole. they abuse, and they refuse to do right.
Thank you.
And that's why America's falling. That's my point of view.
When
have
you
no
go
unity.
against God, when you go
Amen.
against God, not against all what they write there for you by King James and Michelangelo. When you go against God,
That's right.
you will feel the wrath. You know why? No, God ain't doing you nothing now. You went against God. And you can create your own
comments.
self-destruction,
Yes.
which is what we see happening now.
Thank you.
Economy is one.
Let me
Yeah.
say one thing here. Today we are in a cosmopolitan community. Some of the Hispanic folks, we could reach some, and some of them you can't reach. Some of our Haitian brothers and sisters, some of all our Caribbeaners, they have distinction between the Caribbeans among themselves.
Because America put that
They
into them.
create this kind of
Yes.
divide and
That.
they saw this bog that everybody have something against each other. It's not like I'm your brother keepers no more. Everybody watching everybody. And that's their strategy to divide and conquer. And now you need an emancipator like myself and others who can come and meet the people to let them know this new world order system that is come, it's already here, brothers and sisters. It is here. Watch me. They attack on the religion. They attack on family. They attack on property. When a system could take away your housing, a place to keep you warm, especially when you live in a country like this, where the earth dies for a couple months, and it raises itself back and give you a little life for a couple months again, and it go back to sleep. And when that sleeping time, they evict you, and nobody cares about you. You go in the hospitals with an illness because you have no insurance. No one wants to attend to you. When you see the morals like that left the mind of people, you're not dealing with human beings anymore. We have all these left-wing people who come from all those different countries out there who believe in the swastika and all these nonsense. They break down the Berlin Wall and they bring it here. This new world order government is creeping in very easily because why? We're watching the Red Sox, we're watching the Celtics, we're watching the Bruins, we're watching what the next, any more sports from Boston?
Patriot.
The Patriot. And while we're watching the Patriot act is right there kicking your house. It come in your house, it lick it. I'm serious.
So we sleeping on a job.
Yeah,
in
we
other
sleeping-
words.
yeah,
You need to
We
wake up,
sleeping on a
brothers.
job.
Wake up, because I'm telling you, one of these days, we're going to wake up and we're going to be just marching so before the chamber and men all around you with heavier. Look at when they went to take the little Spanish boy who was on the water back in the day. When is it?
Elio. What was his
Elio something.
Yeah, I remember.
When they went for this kid,
What was his name?
military forces went in there, strong force, like they were SWAT, like they was moving to an island. This is just to go and take a kid.
And you know
Exactly. You don't need
something?
all that for this fat kid.
No, and let me tell you, you know what? We can't be hypocritical. Now, I was just watching, like, see how they invade, like, tombs and people's homelands and people's rights. I was watching where these people, this genetics scientists wanted to test Abraham's DNA. I guess they want to determine if he's black or not.
What does that do with me now?
These people are so stupid.
I think so, because they said, you know what they said. They said, right? They said that he might have had a rare disorder, genetic order, something like that, rare order. So I was like, yeah, whatever. They just wanted to determine what his blood lineage is, Well, hey, don't be surprised. Everyone's black. Get over
Exactly.
it.
Everybody's black. We all came from Africa. That's the roots that we came from.
Whether we like it or not, once we get past what we are, it's nothing. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to do anything. You're just going to be black. You're just going to be white. You're just going to be.
Okay, inside of every one of us, white, Hispanic, what's inside of us? Blood. We have the same heart,
Right?
the same lungs.
And we
2
all
eyes,
cry.
a nose, a mouth,
And
a tongue.
if you break the law, you'll be crying in jail. But that means don't go out here killing people.
I shoulda, coulda,
Because
woulda
you don't
listened.
like something. It's not that serious.
Okay.
But it
We have a
also
couple
says
minutes.
this.
We have 4 more minutes. I want you and you to take a minute for yourself, take a minute for yourself. Give Boston some of the positive. We don't throw out. We give them all what we show them here is either get serious or continue playing, but we serious here. So give them a minute, and you're closing the match.
Well, y'all, we thank you for watching us and supporting us because, no, we're not perfect, but are we doing our best to inform our people in our community? Yes, we are. So if you're going to be critical, come up here and help us. Help us bring better solutions to our people that will help them be better people. Okay? But outside of that, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. And I know it's an everyday thing, but happy Mother's Day. And thank you for watching once again. And keep your head up, like Tupac said.
Yeah, keep your head up. Well, Boston, as I'm a foreigner, I would like to see Boston unite as one. Because I told certain people that Boston is like a next Trinidad. They need to come, you have a lot of Trinidadians up here. And most people who are from Trinidad are united people. They stand together as one, they look out for you. And I would like to see Boston, as a young person, would like to see Boston, the elders, especially the youths, unite together as one. So we can put things back into order. And happy Mother's Day to everybody, to my mom, Venice, and all my aunts and stuff like that. Happy Mother's Day to everybody, and that's all I have to say.
Boston, every time the Emancipated Hour get going, the pot on the fire, the water is boiling, and you know how it get hot in here. But I have a lovely crew here this evening. I want to thank this crew, big them up, big up BNN for giving me the privilege. I want to big you up also, all the viewing audience, for letting me come into your home via television. I hope that you understand the Emancipator and the role that he takes to be the Emancipator, because it is serious, more serious than you think. If you think, according to one guy, if you think unemployment is something, you see what? Try, one of our producers have a little quote he just threw out there. But I want you to know, according to Brother Rodney from the Nation of Islam, after you hear us this afternoon, everybody should take a checkup from the neck up. Because it is time for us to get serious. Know whether you want to stand together or you want to be divided. Because this is all what's going on. United we stand, together, and divided we will fall. And this is the only way for us to really try and get rid of this kind of mess that we see coming in and try to bring the light of the new day with that new understanding. Again, I'm appealing to the churches, get yourself together, sit down and call these clergymen together and have a serious talk. And we need to get back our representative that we have voted in power, and don't sit down and watch these guys from City Hall downtown just run through and pull out our candidate who we vote for. Let they have the due process and give them the time to do the due diligence while we put them there, because we have not found them guilty as yet. We want to see the case come out, then we will get the right to know whether they're guilty or not. But you cannot try somebody before giving them the day in court. All I want to say to you, Boston, I love you. Good afternoon and peace. And to the mothers out there, a happy Mother's Day.